Moving in with a stranger always has risks, but Mark seemed like the ideal roommate. He paid his half of the rent on time, cleaned up after himself, and mostly kept to himself. His room was always locked, but that was his business, not mine. At first, nothing seemed odd. The only thing that stood out was how much he watched me, silent, observant, always seeming to notice the small things. One night, I came home late from work and caught him standing in the hallway, just staring at my bedroom door. He looked startled when I called his name, muttered something about just stretching his legs, and walked off. Then, one night, Mark left in a rush. His shift at work started at 9 p.m., and by the time I got home at 10, he was already gone. That's when I noticed it. His bedroom door, usually locked, was slightly ajar. I hesitated, but curiosity won. Pushing it open, I expected to find a typical mess of clothes, books, and maybe some weird personal habits. Instead, the room was nearly empty. No bed, no TV, no normal furniture, just a single wooden chair in the center of the room, and sitting in it was a mannequin, dressed in my hoodie, my jeans, a wig that matched my hair. And my stomach twisted as I took a shaky step inside. The air smelled faintly of something stale, like sweat and dust. On the desk, a notebook sat open. Flipping through the pages, my breath caught in my throat. It was filled with notes about me. Leaves apartment at 8:30 a.m. Returns at 6:15 p.m. Prefers blue shirts. Usually sleeps on the right side of the bed. Doesn't lock the bathroom door when showering. Page after page, every movement of mine recorded. The most recent entry made my skin crawl. Getting suspicious. Might have to act soon. A noise from the hallway made my heart pound. Mark was back. I shoved the notebook closed and bolted from my room, locking the door behind me. My hands trembled as I grabbed my phone and dialed my friend, whispering for him to come over. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I packed my bags and left while Mark was still in his room. I didn't say goodbye. I never looked back. A month later, I checked the rental listing out of curiosity. The ad was back up, same apartment, same room, same price. The only difference? The description. Looking for a male roommate. Preferably similar height and build. I didn't sleep that night. Moved into an apartment with a girl named Lila, who had just gone through a bad breakup. She was nice enough, though she had some odd habits, like covering all the mirrors in the apartment before going to bed. One night, I asked her about it. It's just a thing I do, she said, avoiding my gaze. You should try it too. I ignored her advice. That night, I woke up to a sound, like whispering. I turned on my bedside lamp and saw my bedroom mirror uncovered. My reflection stood there, smiling, but I wasn't smiling. I screamed, waking Lila. She rushed in, saw the mirror, and immediately threw a blanket over it. You looked at it, didn't you? She whispered, eyes wide with terror. Now it knows you. I moved out the next day. I shared an apartment with my best friend, Sam. We had a simple routine: work, home, dinner, repeat. But after a few weeks, I started noticing something odd. Every night after dinner, I'd find an extra plate set at the table. At first, I thought Sam was just forgetful, or maybe expecting a guest who never showed up. But when I asked, he just shrugged. Must have been a habit from before, he said. One night, I came home earlier than usual and found Sam sitting at the table, talking in a low voice. The chair across from him was pulled out, and another plate was there, but no one else was in the apartment. Hey, who's here? I asked, feeling uneasy. Sam jumped, eyes wide, like I had caught him doing something he wasn't supposed to. No one. Just thinking out loud. He quickly cleared the extra plate, but it kept happening. And then, I started hearing movement at night, soft footsteps in the hallway. When I knew Sam was asleep, I finally confronted him. After a long silence, he admitted that before I moved in, he had another roommate. They had a falling out, and the guy just disappeared, owing rent. But Sam never changed his routine. "Sometimes I feel like he's still here," he muttered. The next day, I looked up the guy's name. I wish I hadn't. He had been reported missing. Last seen in our apartment. I moved out the next week. Sam still won't talk about it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.